Yo, what's good, guys? Dope Randy back at it again, and you finally gonna get to see some gameplay. Yay! As this is the 6th race of the season, the second race in the second round of the playoffs, as we get to go a little road course racing, as we do the I Love New York 355 at the Glen. If some of the storylines heading into this race include, can the Xfinity 5 continue the reign of dominance early in the season and make it a cool 6 for 6 at the road course? Can I continue to qualify good for God knows why, as my 2.2 is remaining on the line? And I need to also do good I need to have a good point stay in general, because if you saw my last video, which I wouldn't mind, because it helps you and it helps me. But if you didn't see my last video, you saw that I got lagged out at Bristol due to a thunderstorm, and I finished 42 laps down in 17th place, which is a bumble. And so I needed a good run today to probably secure my spot into the next round. So we'll go into Watkins Glen, like I just said. And there's another storyline that's gonna emerge, and it's the fact that Spankstor, who's already, I know this is the qualifying race, but still, look at that gap. Look how big it is. Has won every stage and has won every race in the 2 seasons of the Silver League. And so if someone could beat him, and it's like, this is like his little playground, because I know last year he absolutely whooped the field by 18.5 seconds. As I felt like it was going to be me and Rockstar, the two Xfinity 5 rookies. The 2 Xfinity 5 guys who hasn't won yet. And out of the 5, I say we are the 2 best road course racers amongst the bunch. But I felt like if someone was going to put an end to that, it was going to be the 2 of us. And as you can see, we're 1, 2, 3. And I'm trying to catch Mr. Spank. That's what so gives me a nice little love tap. It completely kills that lap. But if someone could stop the stage streak and the winning streak, that'd be lovely. As we're all just still trying to get our bearings. We're all still trying to get separated. I think Rockstar is just trying not to I think I'm trying not to get killed by Rockstar in the 31. As we got 1 lap to go in the qualifying race with a 1:08.1. But then I got spun, and this lap is going to go completely to Dumpsville, as I just got to squeeze my way into it and just pretend this is practice for the actual race, as I'm going to try to get third spot back, which I do pretty easily. But man, getting heel. I looked at Rockstar did another lot. Rockstar was doing a live stream in this race, and I looked back at it, and I watched it, and it turns out that him dumping me in turn 1 was eventually going to happen. Well, okay, he didn't dump me. It's just his braking zone was so much later than me that I pretty much, if I was in front of him, I was going to get pushed anyway. So I just got to get used to that for the actual race. So other than that, it was a pretty okay qualifying session. I got a 108.1, which I felt like I could go faster than that. And I got third, proving it. Spank got the pole as Rebel Kush got second. Mired back in all that traffic. But yeah, I qualified third. The average starting spot does decrease, or goes up in this case, from a 2.2 to a 2.3. And that's, I mean, that's still pretty good in leading the league. And like I always say, that's huge because you can always avoid the trouble and all that stuff. So as we get ready to load into the race, your daily reminder that if you like what you see, hit that thumbs up right below and comment if you want to interact with me. I will answer questions. It's been proven. And yeah, hit that subscribe button as well. We've been stuck at a lucky 13 forever now. I mean, maybe we can try, I don't know, 14 would be good, 15, and don't go down either. Do not go down. But yeah, let's try to get that sub count up a little bit. That'd be lovely. And so, as we load into the race, and I'm going to start
Stay sharp. Green's coming.
third
Okay, be smart out there.
in a very unique, like, I don't know why Watkins Glen has it to where if you're on the inside,
Keep it right there.
like, it's backwards. I know, that's just weird. It's like I get a good run off turn 1 and just get around everyone, but then I choke it. And then here comes the masses of Rebel. And then once I was trying to get up beside me, but that's not going to happen. As I just give a nice little tap to Rebel. And then they're going to collide. That's a maybe. That's a maybe, alright. So yeah, after unfortunately drilling Rebel into the grass, I get back into second. And there's your lesson for the day, kids. Don't hit the fence, because you're gonna have to, because you get put in unfortunate circumstances. And when you do that, sometimes you dump people for no reason. Again, my apologies. I think you'll see him later in this race, and he'll be all fine and dandy. Anyway, so this is like qualifying all over again. As Rebel is literally on me, like white on rice, and Spank is in first. For this full stage, I'm just trying to get a feel for the track, try to get a feel for the competition, as I choke it just a tad, and that's going to allow Rockstar in the 31 to be right on my back bumper. So we're going to have a good battle here for the second spot in the stage. Now, this is probably, like, as far as time wise, this is the shortest distance of the season, which in turn is going to be the shortest amount of time. So although I just said get a feel for everything, we don't have a lot of time for that, as we got 2 laps to go in this first stage, as Rodstar just, that light braking zone I was telling you about, well, that's proof, as he just threw it in there, kind of using me as a brake. It's a good thing I was a half a lane up, or I would have gotten killed, literally. So right here, just, you know, I'm not going to catch Spankstel, the king of Watkins Glen, basically. As we have the Xfinity 5 doing second and third, just chilling. And then D's Nuts in P4. Then Rebel has came back to go up into P5 as I go wide in turn 6. As we're gonna come to 1 lap to go in stage 1, sponsored by Credit One Mate. Hashtag cheap plug. I'm hoping and praying that Rockstar doesn't bail it in. And it's deja freaking vu all over again. As Rockstar pretty much spins me. Like, I gotta get used to his. I've got to get used to the braking zone. But it's a whatever. I'm still gonna. He's still behind me, but the problem is that now D's Nuts in the 14 is in front of me. And the problem is I'm not gonna have enough time to catch him because of BS. And now the mentality is just to hold off Rockstar and Rebel for 4th and 5th. As I'm going to finish 3rd in this stage. And Spencer's going to get his 2nd stage win of the season. And Rockstar comes down pit road. So Rebel's going to wind up finishing 4th in this stage. T-Bone 5th. That's your top 5. And then so at Watkins Glen, I'm just hoping and praying that people pitted kind of with me, because I don't want to be stuck in the middle of this. I tell you, the middle of the pack at Watkins, this might be a bold statement. I don't care. You can comment down below and tell me how wrong I am. But I believe being in the middle of the pack at Watkins Glen is the worst track to be in. And I'm putting that over Talladega and Daytona. Because of the bottleneck that you're about to see on turn 1. As literally everyone's trying to get to the bottom. I'm just hoping and praying that 10th doesn't kill me. But it works out beautifully. Like, absolutely beautifully. As I think Tyler's Ping was trying to be a hero, but he wound up being a zero. And I want to appreciate him for that, because you made me go from 8th to 3rd in one big swoop. And in addition, as you can tell, we've kind of created a nice little gap the top 3 has. And look and the only people I have to pass is Rockstar into 31. Who, that's going to be a challenge, being a second behind. That's going to be a challenge. An X-Ready player who is going to be a nice gentleman and just let me go. Psych, because he's going to get the crossover, but I'm going to have to forward line. I clip it a little bit, and this might be the worst 20 seconds of this entire race for me. As you can see, I missed 2 shifts back to back.
Hold your line.
And then
Car left, clear right.
I mean, sorry for all the silence, but it just worked out beautifully again. Because as you saw, the 47 just pretty much put Rebel in the grass. And the 47 was on 2 wheels in turn 1. And so I just got behind and just took advantage of the circumstances. And I love it. And that is when you use the fact that you missed 2 shifts in the same straight to your advantage. And so now, number 1, don't miss a shift. That's number 1. Number 2, I'm going to try to drive like a madman. Because after the Turn 1 fiascos that we have, we're about equal between me and Rockstar. As you can see, we've put a gap on pretty much everybody else. And if you're wondering, Spankstall got caught up in that bottleneck in Turn 1 at the beginning of this stage. So, unless he goes into beast mode, it looks like the streak is going to be over. But the question is, who's going to get it done? Me or Rockstar? Because I'm just driving the wheels off this thing at the moment. And now I've caught him and right on his back bumper. And I'm just going to use this draft down this long straightaway, but he messes up the turn as he saw me coming. He saw me coming and tried to do a little too much and just...
Excellent lap.
I mean, that's a GG. And so, with a 1.5-second lead, we've got 1 lap to go in this stage, sponsored by Powerade, #cheap plug. And so, at this moment I was thinking the streak. I'm gonna end this streak unless something happens. So I'm literally trying to run not the fastest, but not the safest. I'm probably doing a little bit in the middle, as I got a 2-second lead and it's increasing. And Spain's was not even in the top 5. So, I think it's a GG. As we're coming into Turn 6, I think it's Turn 6, I could be wrong. And then into Turn 7, and coming off that turn, the 37 of me is going to win his 3rd stage of the season, and the streak is dead. Finally, 3 seasons, 6 stages, 3 years, or seasons, it's over. There's a new kind of streak going, and his name is Randy. As I get my 3rd stage win of the season, first one in the 2nd round. I've done 3rd and 1st in this stage. Felt pretty dang good right now, but as you're gonna see, we're gonna have a problem, because a bunch of people did not pit, and as we wait and wait and wait, and I'm gonna tell you to go sub to the channel, and I thank you all for the support. I wouldn't be doing this without the support of y'all. So thank you. And as we wait, we're going to be 14th. Remember how I said about 10 minutes ago the worst place to be in NASCAR was in the middle of the pack at Watkins Glen? Well, when you say stuff like that, you're eventually going to get caught up in it. So I'm hoping they bottleneck up again, and they kind of do. I gained 3 spots on that little exchange. And then we're all swerving. Cambo slows up for God knows why. I mean, I'm not keeping my foot in it. And then I don't know what the hell that's all about. And then I put the 5 in the fence, and the 66 is in the grass. And somehow we get through all that just fine and dandy. I don't know how, but we did. And then we got T-Bone in the grass. We got another person in the grass. If he stay down though, thank you. And then I'm gonna try to get under the 2 of Tyler's ping. with a beautiful carousel. So we go from 14th to 9th in that little excursion. That was just crazy. I mean, I tell you, lap 1 at Watkins Glen in this game is nuts. We had people in the grass all over the place in the S's. We had people in the grass in the bus stop.
Stay right. Hold your line.
And now, this is the bad part for me, as I'm going to get around LKG Bean Deuce 2 for P8. Here's the problem. The problem is that everyone is spread out. And it just so happens that I'm in the back. So I've got to go. It's basically the gist of it is that I've got to go. And then as Mangel pretty much just loses his talent in the bus stop. And just turns dead right straight into his death because of the course penalty. So we're 4 seconds behind, and it's increasing, as you can tell. The gap is decreasing, that's what I meant to say. So just as long as I can get through these guys, without any problem, without no problem, we should be up there. As we're going to get under Cambo and just outbreak him for 6th. He's going to try to get that run in the outside, but I'm like, hell to the no. Like my boy Bishop Bullwinkle. Shout out to him. And then, I mean, all I got to do is just catch. My mindset is that we got 8 laps here. We're 3.5 behind. Just catch the next guys in front of you. Hope they all make a mistake. Like literally every single person in the top 5 just went through the grass. That's huge. As I'm now on the back, right on the bumper of Sharp Hawk in P5, giving Team Sharp a good run. Which is another storyline about the team championship. I lost 15 points to the leaders at Bristol over that catastrophe. And so I'm trying to get a good run down that turn into the start-finish line as Sharp decides to be a nice gentleman and lets me through as I'm up into the top 5 in the nets, and I now see the leaders barely, but I do see that Jimmy John's number 4 of Spank, and I see my next 3 targets that I've just got to get around them as fast as I can, and just hope and pray there's enough time to catch Spank. As the next target we're going to get to is these nuts, and me and him's had a little history.
Still there.
When I say little, I mean I'm talking about Friday. But God knows why now he's going to drive me straight dead right, for I don't know freaking why. And so he wants to play aggressive, and 2 can play this game, and then he just straight kills Rockstar for no reason. And like I said, 2 can play this game as he is straight blocking me at this point. And then he goes on 2 wheels, hits that, and loses all of his talent. Like that, and I'm up to 3rd. No problem, just let him do him. And so now the next 2 is Rebel and Spank. And so at that point I'm just trying to drive this thing as hard as I can. And now we have another decision to make as pit stops are about to happen. And we gotta come in for tiles here. And the question is, do you want 2? Do you want 4? Or do you want none? And so, number 1, I'm trying to get this gap as low as I can before anything happens. I'm catching Rebel in P2 pretty freaking fast. And I'm also catching the Ladle not pretty fast, at an okay pace, 1 or 2 tenths. But the problem is 1 or 2 tenths, it's not going to cut the mustard, especially
Almost out of gas.
when you can count how many laps are left on your 2 hands. As all of a sudden I am right on the back bumper of Rebel, and I'm just going to do what I've been doing the whole time. Get through the carousel, give him just the smallest tap, and yeah, side by side, out brake.
Far left.
He bumps me, but it's all good, as I'm now in the second.
You're low on fuel.
And Spank comes down pit road, and so does Rebel. So I'm now by myself on the track. The other 2 came down pit road, Spank and Rebel, and so I've got 1 lap of gas, which I'm using it on right now. So I'm gonna come down pit road next time, and now the gap was down to about 4 seconds. If I do 4 tires and, if I do the normal pit stop, this race is over, because I'm not going to catch him like that. You're already going to lose. If he does too, you're already going to lose time, so I just got to do stuff differently. And I am thinking about a good point stay as well, because I don't want to blow any tires. So, as you can see, 1 can, 2 tires. That will be, in my opinion, that's going to give me the best chance to try to gain just 2 or 3 seconds on them. And we'll see what the heck is going to happen as we do a can and 2 tires. And I'm off. Now, you're going to see, there goes Spank, there goes Rebel. But as you're going to see, I have a good exit to the pit road. I'm going to beat Rebel. So now I'm in second, all by myself. And I've got a 1.5 seconds to catch Spankstall. And this is what I've been dreaming about ever since the race ended. It's down to me and him. We got 2.5 laps. I'm catching them slowly but surely. And it's just time to see what one can do. Even though he's got a 1.5 seconds advantage, let's see what happens. And as you see, Spankstall messes up that turn, and that's a little push. That's a big push. But just keep your foot in it, and we have a new leader with 2 laps to go. And it's on like Donkey Kong in this thing. As now you've just got to, on 1 left side tires, you've just got to drop the wheels off this thing for literally 2 laps. That's all you can do. And just hope and pray that Spankstall, the demigod of Watkins Glen, doesn't do anything that you have no idea about. So he's going to get the draft down the bus stop. I'm going to try to slow him up a little bit, break his momentum. It works out pretty nice. He washes up just a little bit in the carousel. I get a good carousel. A really good carousel. But the problem is he's going to suck right back up to me because of that draft. As I'm just smoking at this point, trying not to mess it up.
Right.
And now he's under me. As we hit contact, And we're going to be side by side as we got 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
1 lap to go. Give it all you
Here at the Glen, we're going to be side by side going into turn 1. I'm not lifting. He ain't lifting. And I'm going to go as wide as I freaking can without hitting the damn thing. We're still side by side through the S's. That's just a nice little tap. And I get ahead of him. He's still only a tenth or two behind. And so 19% on the left front. He's gonna get that run. He's gonna get that run. I try to be aggressive, but it just doesn't work. As the tiles literally makes me come to a dead stop. And Spacer's gonna get around. And unless something happens, it's over. Like, that's just tragic. As we come to the final 2 turns, he kind of messes up a little bit right there, but not really. And then I'm just trying to give it a good run. I pop the fence, lose talent. Now Spank is gonna win.
Top 5. Nice job.
And I finished second on the final lap. Oh man, that is just tragic. Spank is his 3rd win in a row with the Glen, as he remains the only person to ever win at this track. I felt like I took a terrible line down into the bus stop and just literally thought the tires had more give, but they don't. As you can see, and it brought me to a dead stop, and Spencer just went on by with a nice little tap. But, like I said, at least I got second, so that's that. I feel pretty good about my position going into the next round. Like, I should be able to get into the next round. I did get 1 more playoff point. And as you all know, every little bit counts. So my gap goes from 2 to 3. That's lovely. And it's just dang. And I just realized, see, it's Xfinity 5's streak of 5 for 5 is oval. But if there was a guy who broke the Xfinity streak, I'm proud that it was Spainster who defeated it. So, GG's to him. And I'll take my 53 points. And, ooh, that is big thunder. I'll take my 53 points and just go to Kentucky, where the next race is. I feel like I'm good in the chase as far as to go into the next round. So that's good and lovely. But, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you all for watching this video. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below if you want to interact. But thank you all for watching. I appreciate the support, and have a good day.